You know what I mean? Like that's actually really been a highlight of my year, meeting these people, and that is such a good thing. And I wasn't ready for that, and so that's a beautiful thing. So curveballs can be good. Curveballs can be a positive thing. Correct, you know, if you're not ready for it, it's a beautiful thing. So that's another thing. That's the good thing about entrepreneurship, is that there's so many good things that happen out of it. Maybe not as many as the adversities, but when those good things happen, it might be only 5%.
Well,
right?
It's,
least expect them.
Yeah, it's the way you embrace it. I feel like you probably have everyone probably has good things thrown at them every single day, but because they're so bogged down by the bad things, they don't take.
Well, they're focused on the negatives,
That's
right?
Yeah.
And if you can see the positives in so many other things, then you'll be grateful for those things, and it'll take the focus away from the negatives. And I must admit, entrepreneurship is very difficult. It's tough, right? And the majority of things that happen are bad. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat this to our listeners and say, yeah, it's all rainbows and sunshine. It's not, right? You really are going to get punched in the face, because that's literally what happens. However, the 5% of stuff that does happen to you is beautiful. Yeah. And when it does happen, it's like, it is so euphoric, it takes over every single negative that happens. And it can be the smallest thing. It could be meeting someone, right? It could be having a small win in terms of, record takings in one of your businesses for probably just one day, right? You might have losses for 6 days, and on the 7th day you have a win.
It's just delightful. That's the word to describe
the
it.
Sense of achievement is something that money cannot buy. Yeah. Give me a $2 million lottery ticket today, right? But give me the feeling of having a win in entrepreneurship. I'll take the win in entrepreneurship any day of the week.
Wow, that's massive.
What was the original question, Mark?
The original question, which I was going to direct back to Jade, was that if a curveball was to be thrown, do you literally have a written plan on how to tackle that?
No,
even in the corporate world, Jade, for yourself, do you have a written plan? Or
it's a little bit different in corporate, because it's I take very calculated risks, and I'm a lot more conservative in my line of work. Having a legal background, you have to take the conservative highway most times. Being an entrepreneur as well, a female entrepreneur, it's exciting for me, so I get that exhilarating part of my life as well. And I think I'm going to go back to having life experience. That's your plan. The life experience is your backup, is your buffer to be able to move forward, to keep moving forward, because you need to constantly create resilience. You can't just have something bad happen to you in your life and then you've just created resilience for yourself until you're 50 years old. Resilience is built up over time. It wears off, you build it up. It wears off, you build it up. And that's how you get stronger and stronger. It's the formula for success, resilience. And you've
probably built that through owning your own businesses as well.
Definitely. I think that, and that's been it's complemented my corporate career for sure, because I feel brave enough to take a bit more risk in a conservative environment and come off okay with it, because I know from experience.
Well, it builds your backbone.
It does.
Right? It builds your backbone. So every time you get faced with an adversity or a problem in entrepreneurship, you build a stronger backbone, because you become more, like Jade said, resilient at everything that you do moving forward. So Jade, for example, goes to work with a tough mindset, with taking no bullshit from anyone, and she's successful at it, right? Because she's built this backbone that she's just not scared. She'll go and do whatever she wants. And I guess it's the same as me as well. Like, I'm very confident that I'm going to do well. I'm very confident that all my businesses will do well. I'm confident in myself, and people will come at me all the time because we put ourselves out there on social media. We're doing podcasts, we're doing videos. So a lot of people have their opinions about us, but it doesn't really matter, because I'm so confident in myself, because I've done this for 10 years. A lot of people have only seen us, in the last 6 months be on social media, but we've been doing business for 10 years.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? So there's
we're
a lot
not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. There's going to be another 10 years and a 20-year plan, 30-year plan, right? So there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are claiming to be, these gurus and everything like that, and but they've probably only had 1 year experience running businesses, right? And look, it's great to see them having a crack and trying to give back, to the community in terms of a service and trying to coach them and consult with them. But like we're the real deal.
I think I'm going to just refer to something that's just very recently happened for me in my life. I was thrown a big curveball this week, and I think I did a Mike Tyson on myself and got punched in the face, and I didn't know where my plan was, and I had to really dig deep for some courage to push through the last 48 hours. And you have to look at your past experiences and how you've dealt with it, and just get up and
kind of
show up.
At the historical data, compare it, and then go, all right, I've learnt from.
Yeah, and just take no for an. You've got every right to be successful. And morning, I have every right to be here. I have every right to do this thing today. Yeah. And I'm going to do it, and nothing is getting in my way, and I'm going to do everything. And now I'm very tired.
I think what Jade's trying to say is that as time goes on, you tend to set the bar higher. You keep setting it higher. So if you don't continuously set the bar higher, you're not going to really start running into these stresses and these problems. And a lot of people, what they do is they get to a point where they're comfortable, right? And they operate at a comfortable level because they feel like, okay, it's paying the bills.
It's the life.
It's the life. It's providing me with the lifestyle. I can, do what I want. I don't, my business is now sort of self-sufficient. I can take a wage and all of that sort of thing. And they stay stagnant, right? And of course, those people aren't going to be thrown as many curveballs, right? The reason why we get thrown so many curveballs is because we are on the grow. We are continuously trying to expand. Yep. We're trying to grow our empire. We're trying to open more businesses. We're trying to buy more properties. We're trying to recruit more staff. We're trying to take on more business partners, more investors, because we want to just keep growing. And I think we're addicted to that growth. We're addicted to, and when you become addicted to that growth, you present yourself with new challenges, right? So all of a sudden, more and more curveballs get thrown at you, but really, we've only got ourselves to blame because we're the ones who keep setting that bar higher. So, for example, 10 years ago, if you asked me what my goals were, I would have already surpassed them by now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? My goals weren't even half of what I've achieved so far now. Do you know what I mean? It was
incredible.
It's amazing how small you think in the beginning because now I keep thinking bigger and bigger. And that's why every young guy that walks into my office and says, oh, Zah, I don't know, what I want to do. I think I just want to, save a little bit of money and buy my first property and that's about it. And I go, is that your plan? Is that seriously just your goal? And these guys will be, 21, 22 and, full of energy, wanting to have a go. And I'll say to them, I go, why is that just your plan? Just to save, 50 grand or 100 grand to buy a property or a business? Shouldn't it be to take over the world?
Yeah.
Shouldn't your plan be to be a billionaire? Shouldn't your plan be to, if you want to open, a chain of stores, go worldwide with that brand? Isn't that what we want these days? Or is it just, do you just want a property and it just stops at that? You really do need to set the bar really, really high. And yes, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But you slowly prepare yourself for that. You know what I mean? You slowly climb and present yourself with more opportunities to get to where you want to go.
That's, that's very well put there. Guys, in both the corporate and the entrepreneurial world, do you, and especially for you guys over the last 10 years, have you built more of a shield in front of you to deal with this stuff? So it's almost like, would you ever wake up in the morning and kind of let your guard down? Do you even have a guard going into battle every day, essentially, being work and business and whatnot? Or is it just, as I said, just something that you kind of just, whatever happens? Do you feel a lot more protected these days about yourself than what you were 10 years ago?
Well, I think the knowledge for me protects me, the experience protects me, and I just feel that my skin's grown thicker. I can deal with things a lot more easier. I'm more calmer now. A lot of people say, is it because you're getting old and all of that sort of thing? Well, it's because I'm getting wiser and I've done more things. And it's funny, I get 45-year-olds coming up to me for advice. Do you know what I mean? Because they haven't done as much as me. But then vice versa. I get sometimes 20, 28, 25-year-olds coming to me who have done heaps. They've squeezed in so much. And in the last 10 years, fortunately, maybe it's through, a well-brought-up family or something like that. And those people blow me away as well. And I think it just comes down to how much experience you've had, how much exposure you've had. Like, I've been through a variety of different industries, and so many different adversities, so many problems. And I've never shied away from actually owning all of those problems. Like, I'm the type of person that will cop it on the chin.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And even if it's someone else's fault, I will stand in front of a gun to take a bullet for someone on my team, right? Or even like if they're not on my team, like I'm a very selfless person. So because I've got that instinct about me, I've copped a lot of losses. You know what I mean? I've people,
a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, people have taken advantage of that, and they've really, really ridden me. But you know what it's taught me? It's given me that shield that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's given me that knowledge. It's given me that experience. I can read people better now, right? I meet people for the first time, and in the first 2 minutes, I can tell if those people are strong people or not. You know what I mean? I can tell their strength levels straight away. And that's because of my experience of dealing with the weakest of the weakest and the strongest of the strongest.
So essentially you've built up your guard, we'll call it, your shield, over the years. It's not something that you kind of wake up one morning and go, all right, I'm going to protect myself here. It's something that has built up over the years.
It's your resilience. At the end of the day, it's what you built up from your own personal experiences. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to have different resilience levels. But having that thick skin is what wakes you up in the morning and allows you... We don't know what's coming tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week, next year, next month for us. None of us do. We can certainly have a plan, but in that plan needs to be to have that thick skin that you need and to have the resilience to be able to deal with whatever happens.
I think one of the biggest problems out there, and I'm guilty of it as well, is that we care too much about what people think. And I'm pretty sure that we talk about this on every podcast, but I'm going to say it again.
We should keep talking about it.
We should keep talking about it because it's a common thing. Like the reason why a lot of us don't put ourselves out there, and I used to be the same, is because we worry about what people think. But are those people paying your bills?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Are they doing anything to contribute to your plan for the bigger picture, for your goals, right? And the simple answer is no, they're not, right? And it's very important to put yourself out there, get the exposure, get the experience, make the mistakes, meet good people, meet bad people, right? Get that experience under your belt, and then you become stronger. Yeah. It's not all about money. It's not all about just acquiring assets. It's not all about just, building up that bank account or, getting more and more businesses. What it's about is the experience. That's why they say that people who are well-travelled are the most knowledgeable, right? Because they're the most open-minded, because they've done so much. They've been in so many different environments.
They're more accepting.
Yeah, like sometimes I feel like I'll get into a rut and I'll be like, all right, we need to go to a different environment so my eyes can just see different people, see different things. Different perspectives, you know what I mean? Like,
and also appreciate where you come from kind of thing.
That's right, because we live in the best country in the world. So a lot of people, and we're very isolated here in Australia, so a lot of people just stay here. Because it is the best country in the world. Like, we've been everywhere. And... you don't really have to leave Australia because life is so good. Yeah. But you really do have to leave Australia because life is so good, if you know what I mean. It's very ironic that I say that. But it's just that you need to go and see different things so that you can be grateful for what you have here, and it opens up your mind. I know people who have not left Australia once in their whole life, and you can tell who those people are. Yep. They sort of live in this bubble, right? They haven't been exposed. They're not open-minded enough, and they become... I find that they're not as educated, as in what I'm saying academically, but in life. Yep. And that shield is quite weak around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've met many people myself, and only recently, and it was funny when we were talking about it, one friend of mine, he lives in Parramatta and stuff like that, and he actually wants to become the mayor of Parramatta. Like, he's got these cool aspirations. I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty different. But...
Who's that? Salim?
No, that's definitely not him. But
he's done.
But this guy who's just like so narrow-minded in a way, and I was like, you really do need to get out. And recently he's actually been into some really cool parts of Australia that not many people would normally go to, and